We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from private selection, the Mango Scotch Bonnet Culinary Hot Sauce. So sweet, fruity mango with blazing hot Scotch Bonnet peppers. They're not blazing hot. I do love the pepper. Blazing hot means different things to me, though, I'll tell you that. Alright, so we have a, what do we got? Tongue-tingling heat, sort of, with a culinary twist. Sweet, fruity mango balances the blazing heat. A freshly pureed Scotch Bonnet peppers for a taste that's pure sunshine. And you can use it on roti, chickpea stew, barbecued wings, or pineapple. You could put a hot sauce on pineapple. I don't see why not. This is somewhere out of Canada. And shake it well. Sure. Why not? Let's look at the ingredients. Shall we? Yes, we shall. We have leading the charge with water, mango, sugar, distilled vinegar. First 4 ingredients. We see no peppers. Peppers are number 5. Scotch Bonnet peppers, salt, cornstarch, citric acid, spice, xanthan gum, etc. So, we can see here it's a very nice flowing sauce. This is, boy, where would I put this? It's a thicker sauce, but it's very, very smooth. As you'd expect a commercial sauce to be. It's very smooth. How smooth is it? Very smooth. That's how smooth it is. I'm trying to think of a good analogy for maybe like a really, almost a thick pancake syrup, but it doesn't have the requisite sweetness either, or the way that stuff with the sugar has a propensity to stick together and kind of string out. This will not do that. We do see a restrictor cap, which is stupid. But again, you know, they're buying a bunch of caps. So it's not appropriate for this sauce. But it's fine, you can always screw it off. This is too thick for that, which I will show you here momentarily. Actually, why did I even take that off? Let's get that back on there. Let's get the spoon. And let's let me just show you. Here's a good pour. Whoops, you can see. Very thick. Gravy. That's kind of where I'd put this. Maybe a thinner gravy. Which I guess with the cornstarch is not too far off. See, it sticks really well. Holds together well. It's a sort of a sunflowerish yellow, I would say. And you can see there's little red bits, which are presumably the Scotch Bonnet. Yeah. Okay, and let's get to the getting. Mouthfeel is very odd. I think gravy is about right. That's about where I'd put this in terms of consistency. You have a very minimal amount of heat. And there's a strong mango flavor there, but it almost feels a bit artificial, which is kind of interesting. Nice bit of back heat, just a bit from the Scotch Bonnets. This is a very well done sauce, especially for a commercial sauce. So it was one that I had and I recall enjoying, but not one that I was super hyped about, I guess. And when I started looking through a little bit of the analytics prior to doing my my recap for 2020, I noticed that this was the sauce that was the biggest draw for the blog. So, and if you want to read the review for that, it is in the link below. This is something I had intended to do, but I moved it up just because of that. Because for whatever reason, and you know, it's kind of the thing with the internet with a lot of creators, right? If you ask them, they say, well, if we figure out whatever is popular, we would just do that. And obviously some people have figured it out. I have not. I have not figured that out at all, but I have not honestly spent much, you know, time or attention attempting to do that either. So there's something to be said for just making and creating whatever it is you want to do and not having to worry about being beholden to anybody while you're doing it, which is kind of where I'm coming from. So, but anyway, with that much popularity for this sauce, people reading the reviews, I felt it was something that I wanted to move up a little bit. So, and I will say this. So for a store brand, Private Selection is from the Kroger Group. For that type of thing, for a store brand, I will say that Private Selection is really hit and miss across the whole spectrum. But they are trying, and I will say that their sauces, they actually do a pretty decent job with. Mango to me is really hard to use, and they obviously really went for the sweet side here. It pairs with the Scotch Bonnet extremely well, though. Like this is another really well done sauce. Like they're doing a lot of the the gourmet type hot sauces, and the togarashi that they used to have, I love that sauce. I bought tons of that sauce when they had it. I still miss it to this day. The Calabrian that I did in 2020, also excellent. And this this one, I think I gave it. It was above a 5, you know, so it was above average. Fruit-based sauces, there's so many of them out there, and you know, a lot of the time we're trying to get new ones here so we can have some different stuff on the blog. So I haven't really settled on a fruit-based sauce that I would say is a standby. That's why you don't see it in that list. But as far as a mango goes, I think this is one of the better mango hot sauces I think I've had. All right, so let's get to some getting now. This, I usually try to get chicken strips for this a lot of time, just because I think it makes a really good base. So what I went and did is I didn't pay proper attention. I got these chicken tenderloins, the southern style fried chicken tenderloins from Tyson. So I like to have it where you can dip it. You know, kind of do the usual stuff. I mean, chicken strips I think are pretty ubiquitous for anybody that eats hot sauce. So I like to use them as a base, particularly with fruit-based sauces. I don't always do that, as you know, you guys can look through the video reviews and see. But with this one, and with a lot of the fruit-based ones, I just think that that's really the way to go a lot of times with these. This one, I don't know that you would use it in a lot of places without some sort of light meat. It just, mango is just kind of one of those flavors that doesn't, I don't think, cooperate well with everything. So we're gonna use this actually like a syrup, or actually, you know what? We're gonna use this like a gravy. That's what we're gonna do here. So let's just soak this. All right. It's one of the nice things with, you know, relatively low heat is that you can do this. Hopefully you can see it. It is completely covered, smothered in this sauce. So, all right. And it takes a good flavor and honestly a somewhat lower degree of heat in order for that to be truly workable, because you know, you start smothering some of the other stuff like in a heavy-duty Reaper sauce, and you're going to get a lot of overpowering going on. This is I like what they're doing from a flavor perspective with this. The front end is very, very mango forward. You can catch bits of the Scotch Bonnet. But that more shows up as back end heat.
Very nice.
Very nice build. And it meshes well with this, I don't know exactly what the difference Tyson is wanting to say. Southern Fried is comparatively, but it's meshing really nicely with both the chicken and the breading. The gravy aspect of this really reminds me of like a lighter gravy, like the chow mein gravy, for instance. Not a heavy one like beef or turkey. This is a really it's a very workable sauce. I wouldn't say it's the best one Private Selection has. There are other Scotch Bonnet sauces I like better as well. But give them some propers, you know. When it's coming down to their house brand, they're not making junk. It's a very solid sauce. Now again, for the reasons I mentioned, I would not necessarily keep it on hand, but let's just say that you decide one day, hey, what I would really like to do is go buy all of the fruit-based sauces I can of different types of fruit. So I want a banana sauce. I think Big Red's makes one. A mango, pineapple, cherry, blueberry, so on and so forth. This one wouldn't be out of place in something like that. I mean, it'd be useful for that. And I think it's mild enough that I think it does serve as a pretty decent introduction the hot sauce for the general public. Last, I will say that I'm always pleased to see something using Scotch Bonnet peppers, which that and cayenne are two of my favorites. And I'm always pleased to see Scotch Bonnet being used not only in sauce, but without also having onions in there, so I can actually enjoy it. But yeah, it's worth picking up. Put it that way. If you haven't had it before, definitely worth it. Chili heads, it is very, very, like I said, it's maybe a 1. Maybe if you eat enough of it, you could push maybe 1.5, but it is not, it's not going to scorch your face off or anything like that. So, but there it is, the Private Selection Mango Scotch Bonnet. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.